No Other Choice, a South Korean movie directed by Park Chan-wook, who you would have known from the movies Old Boy and Decision to Leave. The movie starts off with the main character, Munsu, who is both a father and a husband, as he's let off from his job working in a paper mill. He's been working kind of making paper, it looks like, for the majority of his life. The company gets taken over by an American multinational, and a lot of people lose their jobs. And what follows for that first little section of the movie is just really just this sense of loss that all of the employees are feeling who've been let go as their company is being downsized. As the story continues, Mansu looks to try and find other opportunities. So he starts to kind of explore other jobs before really wanting to get back into the role that he was almost kind of born into. And as he looks to try and find another role working in an alternative papermaking company, suddenly comes across the realization that there's a lot of people who are out of work right now in the papermaking industry who are going to be looking for work. And so what follows is his attempts to really try and give himself as much chance as possible of getting that job by really getting rid of the opposition. And what that means in this particular scenario is really being a little bit macabre with how he does that. He doesn't feel like maybe his skills would be enough to kind of make sure that he gets the job. He really wants to make certain. So really his aim and the plot of the movie is how he decides to try and kill off all of the other oppositions in terms of who might be going for the same role as him. This is a kind of a movie that is very based on black humor. It's very, very dark humor. It's very funny. It's very light. And so his attempts to kind of kill off the opposition don't go as planned. There's a lot of bumbling about. It's clear that he's never done this before. And you really get a sense of lightness and really just a sense of connection with him as a person. This isn't through experience. He isn't a horrible or vile person. He's just someone who really cares for his family, because that's ultimately what this movie is about. Is about family. There's a point in the beginning of the movie where Mansu kind of hugged or asks his children and his wife to come to him, and he's basically hugging his children and his family really tight, and he kind of says, this is all I need right now, right? I just feel complete. And so you understand as the movie continues, where suddenly he loses this sense of who he is, because he's lost now his job, and suddenly that compromises potentially losing his family as well. As the movie continues, we rarely see not just his connection to his family, but also his wife as well. His wife, who, gets some kind of inclination about what he might be up to. But again, as the movie continues, her realizing again that he's doing this for their family, right? He's not doing this just for the sake of trying to off people. He really cares deeply about the family as much as she cares for the family as well. There's a point towards the end of the movie, or maybe like the last third, where you can really see his hesitation around trying to off the opposition. There's a point where he's kind of trapped one of the alternate people who are going for the papermaking job, and he just apologizes to them. He's just like, I'm really sorry, but for me to be able to live, you need to disappear. And it's such a poignant moment in this movie that really, again, reiterates how much he cares about his family, about his wife and his kids. There's a lot of funny moments in this movie. It's certainly not macabre dark all the way through. There's sense of darkness around it, but it's very funny. In terms of the way that he's trying to essentially kill off people, that doesn't really always go to plan. And it's when also you get to learn about the other people that he's trying to be in opposition to for this job, and the challenges that they go through as well, right? This really doesn't see things just from his perspective. It sees things from everyone's perspective. So you really get a feeling for when there are job losses in any organization, how much it affects everyone, right? And everyone is suffering from their identity, from who they are, from their meaning in life. There are some really kind of laugh out loud moments in this. It is very light, it's very humorous. It certainly keeps you on your toes throughout the whole of the movie. Ultimately, again, I think this movie is about family. It's about the importance of family. It's about the importance of how we stay together and why we stay together as well, and how much that is challenged in an ever kind of digital world. There's a moment kind of towards the beginning of the movie when the children realize that they're going to have to give up things because their father has lost his job, and one of those aspects is how the son now has to quickly watch the last couple of episodes of a Netflix show because the mum has said we're not going to have Netflix anymore. And again, just this kind of very mundane loss, but for the child, actually, that is quite a big deal. One of the other things I really liked in this movie was the music. The music was actually, it almost felt connected to the daughter. So the daughter plays, I think it was the violin or the viola, and it has a very dark, in fact, I think it's the cello. And sorry for all the violinists and violas there, but I think it's the cello. But the way she plays the cello is so dark, and that's replicated in how the same kind of strings are played throughout the rest of the movie. In those moments where Mansu is always about to kind of connect with the opposition, connect with the person he wants to get rid of, you suddenly hear those dark strings, those kind of dark cello movements, and it really adds a sense of kind of depth, this real sense of, as a viewer, you are feeling as on edge as Mansu is. So I thought the music was really well done. It's quite sparse throughout the movie, but it really adds a kind of a sense of gravitas there as well. So I really enjoyed it. It's something that's really light. It's really easy to watch. Time goes pretty quick. So if you want something, a bit of dark humor, a little bit of thriller, doesn't take itself too seriously, and at the same time there is a really kind of poignant message about family and what it means to be connected, and what it means to really have some sense of identity, this would be the movie for you. So that is the South Korean movie, and it is No Other Choice, and that is out now.